Now we will learn the very beautiful concept of computer architecture and organization, and that concept is instruction cycle state transition diagram. Now we have made this concept in our mind that whatever activity that we are doing inside the computer system, it is executing the program. Now if we want to execute the program, we need to execute the group of instructions. Now as every instruction we need to execute out of that complete program, we need to focus now here on every single instructions execution. Now how it is happening, that part we will going to understand with this concept that is known as instruction cycle state transition diagram. Now what is the instruction? Instruction is a group of words. For example, here I am taking one instruction which is add al comma bl. Now what does this instruction is doing? This instruction is actually adding two numbers, and these two numbers are stored here in these two registers. As we know that register is a storage unit for the data which the computer wants to process. Now here AL, it is the 8-bit register and BL is the 8-bit register. Now these two registers are storing some values, and those values I want to add with the help of this add instruction, add AL comma BL. So what will happen over here, that the contents of the BL are added with the AL and the result will be stored inside the AL register. So how does this instruction work? That AL stores the result of addition of AL and BL. So add instruction works on these two registers, and these two registers here are called as operands, and this is called as instruction. This is called as instruction and these are called as operands. So see here we have a group of a word add al comma bl. So this becomes the complete instruction, and inside this instruction this is known as an instruction and these are known as operands, right? So see, software has a life cycle. It is called as software development life cycle. So in the similar fashion, instruction also have one life cycle, and that life cycle is called as instruction cycle, or in detail it is called as instruction cycle state transition diagram. So what does this cycle have? See here, this is the start phase of the cycle. Now after this start phase, the second phase is fetch next instruction. Next is execute that instruction, and this is the execute cycle that is going on. So what is happening here? When we start executing the program, the first instruction is fetched. So it is called as fetch the next instruction. Who is doing this? This is done by program counter, because program counter always points at the next instruction to be executed. Now after fetching the instruction, that instruction has to be executed. Now when this instruction is executing, right, at the same time we need to fetch the next instruction. So this is known as fetch cycle. So fetching is continuously going on, and then after fetching the execution is going on till the fact that all your instructions inside the program are completely executed. Now once all instructions are completely executed, then there is the last operation that is known as halting cycle. Draw the diagram very carefully. This is one of the important concepts in computer architecture and organization. Now this is known as instruction cycle state transition diagram. Now here in this diagram we will going to explain how the instruction since its inception till the termination, through what phases it is going. So this part will be understood with the help of this instruction cycle state transition diagram. So let us take the similar example of instruction, which was add AL comma BL. So as we know that inside this instruction, the add is the instruction and AL and BL are operands. So this particular instruction as an example we will going to take to understand this complete instruction cycle state transition diagram. Now we know that whenever we are doing any activity, for that activity the required data is available inside the memory system. So to perform that activity we need to take the data from the memory inside the processor and we need to process that data. Once we finish with the process we will get the result, and in the similar fashion the things are happening with instruction also. So in this particular diagram explain that part into detail, that this is the instruction and these are the operands. So let us start from the first step of the instruction diagram. The first step is instruction address calculation. Now this is the instruction which we want to process. Now what does the processor will do? Processor will first of all calculate the address of the instruction which we want to process. Now once we calculate the address of the instruction, right, what will happen? We will go to the next step, that is known as instruction fetch, right? If we know the address, then only we can fetch that instruction from the memory system inside the processor. Now if we fetch that instruction from the memory system inside the processor, the third step will be instruction decoding. Now what is meant by decoding the instruction, right? Decoding the instruction means understanding the pattern of that instruction. Decoding the instruction, it does not mean that converting that instruction into binary format. Inside the computer system, everything is already in the binary format. Add is in the binary format. The content of the AL are in the binary format. The content of the BL are in the binary format already inside the computer system. Now if we have some pattern, for example, so is this pattern means that it is whether it is the instruction or whether it is the data, so computer does not know it, right, whether it is data or whether it is instruction, because inside the computer everything is already in the binaries. So that binary pattern, right, whether that binary pattern means that it is the instruction. If it is instruction, then what type of instruction it is, whether it is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, performing the AND operation, OR operation, NOT operation, right, or whether it is a number, maybe 8, maybe 10, maybe 25, maybe 100, maybe 1024. So this particular binary pattern understanding, it is called as decoding that instruction, right? Decoding the instruction means understanding the binary pattern which is there inside the memory system. So once the computer understands that this is the add pattern, this is the pattern for the number inside the AL, and this is the pattern for number inside the BL, then in that case only the add operation will happen on these two numbers and the result will be stored inside the AL register. Now next thing is we have done with the instruction as of now. Now what is the next turn? Next turn it is of operands. Now when we are talking about instruction address calculation, fetching the instruction and then decoding the instruction, the next turn it is of operand address calculation, because currently we have the instruction with us but we don't have operands, right? It is easy to understand. Just concentrate on what I am saying to you, that First of all, we have done with the instruction. Now we need to do with the operands, right? So operands are again on the memory system. So if they are on the memory system, right? So where they are on the memory? Memory is very huge, right? So inside that complete huge 1 TB of your hard disk, where the operands are there, right? So for that operands also we need to calculate the address, right? So operand address calculation, second step. So in operand address calculation we will get that where the operands are. So once we find out the address of the operand, then what we will do? We will now fetch the operands. So once we understood with the address, right? So we will fetch the operands from the memory system inside the processor. Now what will happen? Now with me there is instruction, and now with me there are operands. So complete data I have now. So after fetching the operand, now I am in a position to go for the final work. The final work is data operation. So what is data operation? Here the instruction is add. So I want to add the numbers. AL and BL are the two registers which are containing your values. So maybe 5 and 2. So these two values, 5 plus 2, I want to do, and I want to store it into AL. So data operation means the actual operation of addition will happen inside this particular block. Now once you have added the two numbers, now the next step is destination address calculation, of course, because now I have a result, and result is, for example, 5 plus 2 7. That result I want to store on some memory location. So if I want to store that result on some memory location, so what I will need? I will need to calculate that particular address where to save the result. Now destination address calculation. So on that address I will going to store the result, and that is my last step, right? So what will happen? I have talked about the instruction first, then talked about the operands, and then talked about the result. So here I will going to store my result. Now here there are some additional steps which the instruction cycle state transition diagram is taking. The additional steps are, once I am finishing about the first instruction, what is our duty? Our duty is to focus on the next instruction to be executed, and that is done with the help of program counter. So this particular arrow is coming from here to here, that instruction is complete, fetch the next instruction. So this was all about the one single instruction. Now for the next instruction we will going to repeat the process. Instruction address calculation, fetch the instruction, decode the instruction, calculate the address for operands, fetch those operands, perform that operation. After performing the operation, calculate the address where to store that result. Then after calculating the address, you have the location. Now store that result, right? So these particular steps will be repeated for the next all upcoming instruction till your complete program gets finished. Now here one more thing happens inside this instruction cycle state transition diagram. It is when we are returning, we sometimes in some cases return at this particular location, operand address calculation. So this is specifically for return for string data. Now what happens in the return for string data? There are some instruction like move string byte. So move string byte instruction does one work that from one location I want to move the contents from, let us consider one example that I have one row of one Excel sheet, and from that row cell wise I want to transfer all the names which are written in, for example, 10 cells. So A, B, C, D and so on. So I run one loop that move string byte from one column to another column. So cell wise it will move from one cell to another cell, one cell to another cell, one cell to another cell. So in that case what happens, I need not to run this instruction again and again. So this is basically a string instruction. We're going to understand the instructions also in detail in next videos. So this is the string instruction where I need not to run that instruction again and again, just I need to work on the operands. So in that case what happens, I just need to come to operand address calculation, and these things I need not to do because instruction address calculation, instruction fetch, instruction decoding I have already done with, and only I need to do with operands because operands are changing in this particular case. So this is the last condition for understanding this instruction cycle state transition diagram. Thank you.